Soil computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
All right, guys, what is going on? John here. Welcome to the stream. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope it was productive. Before we go any further, guys, I know the risk disclaimer is up at the top and it's scrolling, but as per usual, trading with real money does involve risk. Don't trade with money you cannot afford to lose. And this is not financial advice. Okay, I'm not a licensed financial advisor or anything like that, but you know, we did watch some things last week on Friday. You guys remember that? And I know I have to bring this up because Willow had left right before the big move. You know what I mean? So I gotta rag on him a little bit, but we didn't end up taking that short on the account, on the paper account that you know, I had open at the time. So obviously in hindsight we should have taken it, but hopefully just watching was enough for you guys to get some experience and, you know, study price and all that. We studied that trend line liquidity, which was not swept, it was met though at the end of the day. So it was traded into, it met that. So that was a really good opportunity on Friday. All right, now as far as today goes, I really like today. It wasn't perfect, but I'll get into a couple things. If you saw my social media, then you know that we had shorted here, right there. Okay, so we'll get into that, and then we actually exited right here. One of the exits was right in there, which is our current low of the day. And again, not for bragging purposes, but, you know, it's to teach you guys some things, you know, entering and exiting at, I would say, some decent market movements, some decent moves, you know what I mean? So, sad I did before it happened, rip. Yeah, it's all good, though. What's up, Allie? How you doing? Matthew, what's good? What's good, family? So, what do we usually start off on? I would say the daily. And there was a couple levels that I had in mind that I had posted last night into the Discord. Okay. Now, if you're not in the Discord, I've been sharing this every single stream. It's discord.gg/tradehouse. That's how you get in there. But if you're not part of the Master Academy, then it is going to be limited as far as what you can and cannot see. But if you do have access to that, if you have access to the mentor charts, I highly suggest you look at some of the things that we noted. So on Friday, if you remember, we were potentially anticipating 12,340, right? That was a potential level that the market may want to have repriced to there at the end of the session, right? Remember, we were watching that and we came very close, but unfortunately we didn't get that. We ended up distributing at the end of the day. which is fine. That's not a problem. However, that was still on the table. But if you look at this, what is this? What are we looking at now? Well, this is a 5-minute zoomed out, but if you look at a 15-minute, you'll see basically the same thing. Which is what? Today I got stopped out twice on NASDAQ. Going short after the open. Well, that's exactly what we're going to discuss. So I'll probably let you know what you missed. Not in a not like in an asshole way, but more of like a constructive criticism, and not like anything outside of that. You know what I mean? And then, so this stream's not going to run for 3 hours. It's only going to be probably for another hour, maybe a little bit more. I have to go to the dentist today. Ooh. So exam, they're gonna x-ray and all that. And so I have to go take care of those things. So I wanted to get some scalps in, of course, before, the rest of the day started. And we'll discuss it. So, but what can you guys tell me about today? What are we looking at? I mean, it's the NASDAQ, of course, but I mean, look at everything in here, right? Look at, well, my face is probably right here, but that's fine. So look at all this and look at Friday's movement. Or is there anything that jumps out at you? Is there anything noteworthy? Noteworthy. We might end up trading lower today. But my current exit is the low of the day. I would like for that to stay there. Just so I can kind of feed the ego a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I can put that in my journal. Got out at the low of the day. But if not, it's fine. Guys, this area right here. What's important about this area? What's important about this area? Dollar index. I haven't looked at the dollar today. I mean, I hope it's done something, because it's really not done a lot recently. And I want to say I'm bearish British pound. We'll have to go take a look in a minute, but I want to get through the indices first. But I'm not short British pound right now. I don't have any trades on right now. Not, at least not in the currency markets. I actually caught the bottom and got 35 on the way up. Nice. Consolidated and then expanded higher into liquidity. Low resistant Loa. I think you meant to say lows, Mr. John, but it's fine. I see you corrected it there. 12,100. So there's two things, guys. Two things. And girls. 12,000. Right? 12K even. Right? What is that? That would be there's so many things that you could call this. It could be a whole number. It could be zero level. It could be quarters theory. I mean, literally there's all types of names for this. So whatever floats your boat. Okay. Harry bears USD, but indices sold. Because I don't put too much of a correlation on that. There's a slight correlation, but it's a very loose correlation. So you have this, guys. You basically have a set of lows here, and then just prior to that, or just below that, excuse me, is 12,000. So you see how there's a little bit of confluence there. But now when I call levels, when I call price levels, I give you the exact low. So that would be 12,016 or 12,020, something like that. And then so it's just a little bit below that would be the 12K number. So think about Friday, right? Friday was a nice up day, wasn't it? We had consolidation, we ran, retracement, we ran. So anyone who held over the weekend, all right, cool, congratulations. You're in unrealized gains if you want to hold, for a long amount of time. All right, cool. So again, where are the stops going? Where's the liquidity going? Here. Okay, not all of it, of course. Someone's going to have lows here, or they're going to have trailing stops and all that. That's fine. It's not specific, it's more general, right? The general liquidity is going to be down here. So if we expect that, great. But we got to have evidence, which is why I posted 2 levels in the Discord, because we were right. I don't remember what time I posted, but it was like right in the middle. And I'm like, okay, well, either we're going to do one of 2 things. And I know this is going to sound, you know, well, anyone can do that. Well, yeah, but anyone can't get out the fucking low of the day though. So, you know, 2 sides of the coin. But anyways, what I was saying is that, you know, 2 things are possible. We could either run down to the equal lows, or we could run up to that daily high. So when price is in the middle, you guys see how this price is in between both, right? It's in between 12,340 and it's in between 12K. So for me, that's a coin flip, bro. It could get the lows, it could get the high. I don't know. Especially like at midnight, I'm like half asleep, I'm getting ready for bed, London's coming up, you know, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. So it's like, all right, we gotta wait for more information. So then that, right, we ended up trading lower during London, and then our stock exchange open was right here. So what we're gonna do is study open at 8:30 against Central Time. We're gonna study the 15-minute first, and then we're gonna go down into a 1-minute time frame after that, right? But when we opened this morning, right at, let me draw a horizontal line here for you. There's your opening price, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it could be I don't know, we'll just do it blue. All right, when you look at this blue line, I'll get to the comments in just a minute. I just want to get through this real quick because I got a lot to say, I got a lot to do. So when you have 2 levels of liquidity, right, you've got these lows and then you've got this high. Now, I'm not using the fibs in terms of a retracement to look for a long. I'm not doing that. I'm saying look at where price is at within the range. You could do a GAN box too. Okay, a lot of people have adopted this, you know, high, low, and 50%. So that's fine. Look where this blue line is in relevance to these lows and this high. Our opening price is way closer to these equal lows than it is to 12,340. You see what I mean? So now in terms of probabilities, it has shown its willingness to trade lower. So it's like, all right, cool. What are we going to wait for? Well, I wasn't up for the open, I'll tell you that. You know, I got to get rid of that snooze button, but that's another conversation. It's for another day. It's for another day. All right, I'm here for you, not you for me, okay? So when we look at this on a 15-minute time frame, if we study this movement lower, okay, just look at that. Just look at this move lower. All right, is this a efficient market or an inefficient market? Enjoyed your book recommendations for 2022. I got Stillness is the Key. Great book. Have you read The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari? Yes, I have it. However, I got to the end and I'm missing like 20 pages at the end. So I had to stop just short of it. So I got to buy a new copy. So I must have got that one used like a long time ago and they must have not known that it was missing pages. But it's a great book. It's really great. You know, the lawyer who got really wealthy, but it wasn't content, you know, and literally sold his Ferrari and everything. And, well, not him, but I think the other guy, the monk guy or whatever. But anyways, imbalance in here. We traded into that. We traded lower. We have a wick right here. Market trades lower. We have this with the market trade lower. We get a lot of business here. And it does trade into that a little bit right there, like a little bit. And then we trade lower and then we got all this shit over here. So it's like, all right, it's efficient to an extent, but not completely. Okay. So that one imbalance here, if you actually stretch that over, the market ends up rallying and into that. But notice the bodies here. What are the bodies doing? What can you tell me about that? Jordan said hindsight king is live. Yes. Yes, I am. Efficient for the most part. Small amounts are mostly good. I think efficient. Bodies respected the imbalance. Thank you, Naruto. Yes. So a lot of this to me is efficient. This, however, is not. And you do have a lack of wick here as well. Right there. So to me, we overshot the imbalance, but we just came up into that lack of wick right there at 9 o'clock. Right? Beautiful. But it's like, okay, it's suspect, bro. It's sus, right? Because why? Well, we have equal lows down here. The market has shown a willingness to go lower, right? But what do we usually do? What does the market usually do before it runs lows? Before it manipulates, what does it usually do? It usually manipulates highs. We have a short-term high during London right there. So it takes out that short-term high, ends up rebalancing some price, smart money efficiency, right? Taking out traders, rebalancing price at the same time, and then the sayonara. Okay? So what do you do with that? Well, as of right now, nothing. But if you recognize it at the time, right? If you still had 12,016 because I told you on Discord to leave that up there for the week, right? Leave that up there for the next couple of trading days. Okay? Shit, I didn't know if it was going to hit today. That's why I said couple of days, okay? So I didn't expect it to hit today. I had no expectations. But either way, if you had that level there, it's like, okay, cool. Look in this area. And it's a little difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. It is a little difficult on the 1 minute chart for today specifically. But this is why we study these things. We have to train our eyes. You know what I mean? So I'll give you guys just a minute to look at it here. And then we can go from there. But we are at the beginning of the afternoon session, so I will take a look to see what's going to happen. But if you came in late, you know, I'm not going to be here after another 45 minutes. I have to go to the dentist, take some x-rays. So hopefully I don't die. Y'all pray for me. 100%. All right. But look, guys, if you have enjoyed today's presentation so far, it's only been 20 minutes, I know, but if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And please give the video a like as well. It helps, you know, get on the algorithm to get more people on here. And if you're not following me, you can at John Fibonacci is my only Instagram. All right. Prayers up. I hate the dentist. I don't hate the dentist. I just dislike pain and discomfort. You know, they get these little like scalpel things and they see your gums and they're just like, you know, and they just stab you in the gums and go, oh, you're bleeding. Well, no shit. No shit. You just stabbed me, bro. Of course I'm gonna bleed. Of course. You know? Anyways. Mark up some of these lows. All right. We have a high, and then one more high, right? And then the market starts to break down. But look at 913. Look at the 913 candle. What's going on there? What's going on there? Right at the close of that candle. What can you tell me about that? Feeling imbalance. Not the 913 candle. This down close here. This down close here. Kareem says I'm a dentist. Nice. In America or a different country? I need the country with the good drugs. You know what I'm saying? Need that. Need that. Matthew says break of structure. Mr. John D says broke structure. I would agree. I would absolutely agree. If you take this low here, we close below that. This is the 9 o'clock candle, right? Broke low and left inefficiency. Yes, it did. at 9:14, this candle rallies and then closes. Okay, I'll really zoom in on that too. When this candle closes, right? So if you look at it like that, okay, once 9:14 and then 9:15 starts, technically, yes, when that new candle forms, this is an imbalance here. And that's why I said it's difficult, because, like, I mean, that's fairly quick. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty quick. I didn't catch that. I don't think I got on my charts at 9:15. I think it was a couple minutes after that. Okay. But look at that. That's fucking beautiful. Give me a second. All right. Anyway. All right. So that right there, then we sell off. So it's like, okay, well, now we're probably going to attack all these lows. Depending on what happens there, then we may end up going for 12,016. Egypt. Oh, shit. I've never been to Egypt. Because there's a wick at the very top. It would be more probable it won't be going higher. Well, I don't think it's going higher. That's why it's shorted. So if you study this, we slam down, we rally, small imbalance right here. I would have not traded that, but just obviously studying price. Okay, it does trade into that. That's kind of whatever. This is where I started paying attention. Started looking for shorts. I looked at the 5-minute. It was kind of not all that great. Small imbalance right there. Boom, trades into that, sells off aggressively. Okay, so we've already shown our willingness to trade down to these lows here during London, but we didn't get that, right? So we got our manipulation, we got our rebalancing, and now price is literally screaming lower. Lower imbalance, lower imbalance, lower imbalance, lower. It's like, okay, well, shit. Look how close we are, fam, to these lows and 12K. Did I delete that? Why'd y'all let me do that? Okay. So then once this occurred on the way up, that's the candle right there. You saw it on Instagram. You saw it on the Discord. The screenshot, the entry was that candle right there. And within that imbalance, you have a 50 level. 50 right there. Okay. Little bit of drawdown. Fine. Straight. And then right there above, or excuse me, below. Okay. Right there below 12K. Right around 1190. 990. We start to not do anything. We've already sold off a lot, right? Because look at the overall move. Okay, we've dumped and dumped and dumped and dumped. So price is only going to squeeze out a little bit more juice, you know, before it's going to hit the reversal button. So as soon as we started to hesitate, I had my order at the 980 level. I was thinking, yeah, I might hit 80, you know, in at 50, out at 80. But then it just spent a couple minutes there and I went, taking it. I went ahead and got out. Okay. So, but again, y'all, I mean, for those of y'all that know my work, you know, the exit, sometimes I fumble, but, you know, it's there. So that was the reasoning, though. So top-down analysis, right? Understanding 12,016 equal lows. We had our opening. We rallied above opening price, and then we traded. Basically, look at this beautiful order flow down to those lows. So obviously the ideal entry would have been here or here, maybe here. I got in fairly late. So that's another reason why I was aggressive with the stop and wanting to exit rather quickly, because look at 1250, right? And look at the overall move. There's only going to be a little bit of juice left for the day. I mean, shit, I missed like half the move already. You know what I mean? So you can only demand so much after, you know, the move's only going to go so far. All right. And that's really about it. So what are we going to do now? To be honest, I don't know. But I guess if I had to say, I would want to see if we trade above these highs. There's definitely a possibility there. On a 1 minute time frame though, we do have these little lows right there. So I think anyone trying to go long, you know, they might have their stops here, and we may end up running that. But I'm not doing anything with price as of this moment. Plus we haven't looked at the other indices or you know, we haven't done relative strength or anything like that, so you know what I mean. And Kareem, whenever you come to the US, I'm in Texas. I'm in Houston. So if you ever come to Houston, you know, come through, grab a drink or something. Which platform do you use for futures? I cannot tell you, but I do use a broker that is regulated, and I will leave it at that. What we can also look at is the S&P. Well, if the NASDAQ was going to short, I mean, the other indices may or may not follow suit. So let's take a look. What can you tell me about this? What can you tell me about this PA here? Opening price, right? And we rallied. So think about it. Who is in open profit? Who is in unrealized gains? If the market is moving higher and higher and higher, who's killing it right now? Anyone in a long position. Anyone who's long. There's potential mitigation opportunity above lower resistant highs near New York Stock Exchange opening price short lower. Looks more clear on the 5 minute, but that's only from viewing NASDAQ CFDs. I might be there next month. I'll DM you one day as well. Yeah, I'm always in Houston. I don't really fucking go nowhere. I don't be going nowhere, bro. So, think about it. Think about this. Y'all ever been in a trade and it screams your direction? You get euphoria, right? Start looking at that P&L and you're going, all right, cool. I'm a screenshot. I'm a post on social media, right? That's when the market tops usually, right? Do you do Forex later? Yeah, I'll take a look at British pound here in a minute. Same idea, guys. Who is in open profit when this move occurs? Anyone who is trading London or pre-market or is chasing price as it's going up. Okay, we don't chase price, hose, or liquor. You know what I mean? And you can definitely feel free to write that one down. But we do have equal lows here at 40, 46 and a half. Y'all see that? Boom. 40, 46 and a half. Equal lows. So the NASDAQ was already set up to go lower on a higher time frame. But now you've got equal lows on a 1 minute S&P. So what are you going to do with that? Well, probably leave it there. But when we start watching price, what's going on here? Okay. What's going on right there? And again, I don't think today was the greatest in terms of price action, at least on a 1 minute indices, but there was still opportunity. One Lambo. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The screenshot is the top signal or the bottom signal. Yes. Yes. Anytime you feel like you're in a trade and it's like making higher highs and then you screenshot, bro, that screenshot is what the algorithm sees. Uncle Sam, they see it. You know, Apple and all that, they can see all your photos and they're going, oh shit, everyone's long, and they're screenshotting. Now we're gonna hit the reversal button. Okay, so you see this. Now I know the candle, it trades below that, but it ends up closing above. I know, I can see that. However, that's still, to me, it does break below that low. You know what I mean? Uncle Sam, the boogeyman, the boogeymen or boogie women, the men in suits or the women in suits, the powers that be, all that. Hopefully the stream doesn't get shut down. You know, they might shut that shit down. But while we're here and while I have you, I want to say there was one thing I was looking at earlier and I can't remember which one it was. It was the 2-minute chart. That's right. So look, this is why I switch. Okay, when you look at this 1 minute time frame, sure, there's this up candle right here, right? But when you look at a 2 minute, it's a little bit different. So what's going on here? Well, look at what we did on Friday with Dow, right? My mouse stream is shut down at the craziest times before. Black and white chart is amazing. Well, it's really like white and gray. But thank you. It was someone on Twitter a long time ago, like a couple months ago. Someone posted their chart on Twitter and it looked very similar to this. And I went, wow, that's, you know, really relaxing and very calm. That's why mine is named Calm. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, you can. I got the risk disclaimer up there, but it's called Calm. It's a light gray background, white candles that have a transparency, and then like a dark gray for down close. It's just easier on the eyes. And yeah, so it was inspired by someone else, but I made mine just slightly different. And I don't remember who it was. So I'd give them credit, but I don't remember. Anyway, back to what I was saying. This ends up being a mitigation. High, low, higher high. We trade through that. I know it's not the greatest move in the world, but it does come back into this down close here. And then what's it do? It runs for the lows. So that wasn't bad. The only problem with that is framing a 1 to 3, depending on where your stop was at. Depending on where the stop was at. If your entry was right there and your TP was literally 1650 or 16, or excuse me, I don't know why I said 16. 40, 46 and a quarter. So like one tick below the lows. A 1 to 3 wouldn't have occurred unless you had a fairly tight stop. So maybe, maybe not. It depends. Or if you went down to a 1 minute, if you did end up tailoring your entry to that up candle, you would have gotten in, but I just don't see it. I wouldn't have really entered off that 1 minute here. I can tell you if I did enter, it would have been off this mitigation. So I would have definitely taken some drawdown if I had traded that, which I didn't. The NASDAQ did. Okay. So that's kind of what that looks like. I'm not even gonna look at Dow today. What we'll go do is we'll go take a look at British pound. I want to see if we're trading lower. We are, which is cool. 2340, only because 1 hour / 15 minute, it has some very, very clean lows. And the euro is, I mean, it has similar lows, but not the same. I prefer a British pound. Okay. I prefer that. So London was here. So what did London do? Rallied, swept some highs, broke down. And small imbalance here. $9.45. I don't know what happened there. It looks like a run on liquidity. And now I think the next, it's a 15 minute. So probably the next hour or two, I think it's probably going to be lower. It's probably just going to run for these lows. That's what I think. Again, not financial advice. I'm not saying to short. I'm not saying take a trade. I'm just saying in general, if it's a analysis, I happen to be bearish. We've gotten all the evidence. We had the target already. I just wasn't up for London or New York, like the beginning of New York at least. So I wasn't around for all this. But it's nice to see that when you're bearish and you're getting, you know, this type of price action, that just, it gives you the evidence that I think that it will continue lower. But I don't, if you're like not already in a short, I think it might be a little late. it might be pretty late. I mean, look how far the market's already gone. Eesh. But yeah, I am bearish British pound. So we'll see how it goes. Plus, it's only about 20 pips away anyway, so it's not really like a lot, you know, in terms of pips. And then I couldn't even say you had a frame of 1 to 3 from down in here. I just wouldn't do it. So I'll just leave it alone. Should have known. Should have left British pound alone. All right, I won't sing too much for you guys, but red is bad for the eyes. Can I join the Discord group? Yeah, you can. I already pulled it up and the link is in the description, but it's discord.gg/tradehouse, and that's how you get in there. That's how you do that. So, anyways, let's come back to NASDAQ for a minute. Oh no, sorry, I lied. We'll do the dollar real quick. Well, it looks as if the dollar hasn't had hasn't gone to 101.30 or the 101 level yet. That's from the weekly. We have a low from May, and then there's like a daily and a weekly imbalance down in here. So we've hit the reversal button on that. We stopped a little bit prior to that, but this is just disgusting. Fairly disgusting. A lot of manipulation though. Runs on lows, runs on highs, just over and over and over again. So, but I'm assuming if I am bearish British pound, then that would probably justify long for dollar. So that's about the extent of that, you know? And that's really it as far as that goes. Euro GBP looks like this wants to trade lower, which means euro weaker against British pound, I would assume. However, as I mentioned, the setup to me, like those lows on British pound are just too clean for me to ignore. Whereas the euro, it doesn't have the same lows, it just has similar lows below 108.35. Is there a trendline liquidity on dollar 15-minute chart? Not really. I mean, this thing's been sideways for a while. And it's not like the same way we saw Dow on Friday, you know? And that's the thing too. If you guys want to write this down, look, the more obvious it is, you know, one thing I've been saying for a long time too is that if it's obvious to you, it's obvious to everyone else, which basically just means like if you naturally just see a trend line, then you know that a lot of other people likely see that trend line as well, versus something where it's like, well, it could be, kind of is, maybe, like that's not a high probability trade setup, or that's not a high probability target in my opinion. It has to be obvious. It has to be very, very clean, picture perfect, chef's kiss, you know what I mean? That's what it's got to be. Again, coming back to NASDAQ, that's why I posted about the NASDAQ and not the other indices. Okay. Well, looks like those little short-term lows are getting bodied a little bit. That's not a surprise. Now, the S&P, let's look at that for a minute. it had similar lows just like the Nasdaq, but that was swept during London. Like London crashed that. So that downside target for the S&P was already met. So what are you going to do with that? Well, I'm not doing anything with that because the liquidity to me has been absorbed already. Yeah, can it continue lower? It absolutely could. It could definitely do that. But I'm saying is that the probabilities are not in my favor at that point. With the Dow, I mean, it doesn't even have the same setup, bro. There's no even lows or no shit like that. The Nasdaq is the one that has the cleanest lows, which wasn't met during London. So that's why, to me, that one was the most obvious or the most cleanest, or shit, probably both. But look at the change, right? The Nasdaq is down 1.8%, S&P down almost 1%, and the Dow is down barely, not even 0.5%. The Nasdaq to me was the weakest index, right? So at the weakest index, the cleanest setup, and a just overall better timing. You know what I mean? It was just much, much better than the others. So yeah, this just does not look good for today. This doesn't look good. Even if I didn't have a dentist appointment, I wouldn't do anything with this market just yet. Because I feel like this would be a decent long if it's running these lows and if it wants to run these highs. I feel like that could be decent. But I just have this feeling that this may not be the low of the day. It could be. I could be wrong and price might just zoom up from here. That's cool. But I just don't have the conviction. I just don't have a willingness to put on an actual live trade based on that. Demo, sure, I'd take a demo, whatever. I would just long it and put a stop here and TP right there. But I'm not going to do that. I don't even think I'm logged into anything right now. So I'm just going to be chilling. But I like the setup. I'm just not confident. So I'd leave this alone. Does that make sense? So hopefully I don't confuse you. It's just I'm trying to give you what's going on in my head, you know? Fed meeting Wednesday. There's a lot of news this week. There's a lot of earnings as well this week. So make sure you check Forex Factory and don't get your face ripped off this week. Thanks, Cream. Appreciate your time as well. So, yeah. If you guys got some value today, make sure that you are subscribed. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss future streams and future videos. If you're not following me on Instagram, my only Instagram is at John Fibonacci. No spaces, no numbers, none of that, you know, underscores and all that. I don't have any of that. Okay, I'm not going to ask you for Bitcoin. I'm not going to ask you how your trading is going or none of that. So don't get got. Hopefully one day I get verified on Instagram, but it ain't gonna be today. It ain't gonna be today. Yeah, you too, Willow. Have a blessed afternoon. Dennis is gonna be a breeze. I hope so. I hope so. Did you check dollar? Yeah, we just looked at dollar. And I wouldn't do anything at the moment either with dollar. We have met some highs. That doesn't mean we're going to reverse though. Like just because there's probably some liquidity above these highs, we have traded into that doesn't necessarily mean a reversal. It could, but I'm not doing anything with this. And the only thing that I would do with currencies is short British pound. I'm bearish British pound. Only because of these lows. You see that? We just got done talking about order flow as well. I think this is just going to take off the same way. I think it's just going to rip ass lower. And we won't know. We won't know until later today or tomorrow, and we'll definitely know by Friday. I got a special stream for you guys on Friday, by the way, just so you know. I'm gonna have Iffy on here on the 3rd. I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd. So but yeah, write that down. I mean, we're gonna put out flyers and we're gonna promote this week, but just while I have you guys here, we'll have Iffy on here on the 3rd, 1 p.m. Eastern, and then I have some more guests for you on the 6th and the 10th as well. So yeah, it's my channel, but it ain't gonna be just me. You know what I mean? I like bringing on other people. I like bringing on other traders. I like hearing from other people. I had Jenna on the other day and all that. So you get other people's perspective, other people's opinions, and all of that. So, and all those videos are in the recording as well. If you go over to the, like when you go to my page, right, on YouTube or channel, whatever the fuck it's called. Okay. When you're on this page, if you go under live, right? I mean, I know I'm live right now. That's where we're at. But these are the previous streams with Siva, with Jenna, and the other ones are mine. But we're going to have, again, some more people on here pretty soon. But the recordings are there. They're pretty long. They're pretty long. A couple of them are 3 hours. But, you know, juice is juice. You know what I mean? See you on Friday's stream. All right, see you, Andres. Have a good one. You recommend a focus on some pairs? Oh, it depends. It depends. I think it depends on time frame, types of analysis as well. When it comes to relative strength, you know, there are people who are like, I only look at one chart. Okay, you know, do you? You know what I mean? Like, don't let me stop you. But I think it's very ignorant. I think it's very arrogant to do that. You know what I mean? But that's my personal opinion. Like, I'm not going to stop you. What now? Yeah, sure. I might think it's stupid to do that. Yeah. But, you know, everyone's going to do what they're going to do at the end of the day. Because relative strength analysis, looking at 2 or 3, you know, different assets, that lets me know, if I get it right, of course, that if I get it right, then I'm trading the right asset. You know, like, you could short British pound, you could short euro, but British pound might be down 100 pips while, you know, euro USD may only be down like 30 or 40 pips, and the risk reward might be skewed as well, you know. So it's just like, but people don't get that. They don't understand that, and I think that's why they do that, which again, I'm not going to knock them for. You do what you got to do, but I just personally would not do that. So you look at whatever you want. If you only want to look at 1 or 2, then go for it. But that's just not me. Waiting for you and Jenna again. Well, I'm gonna have quite a few people on here before Jenna comes back. We might have to get SJ on here next time too. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Waiting for you. Oh yeah, I saw that. I read that already. When you said trade the weakest index, you mean for a buy or a short? Have a good weekend, Kareem. So if we're shorting indices, you want to short the weakest one. Or if you long, you want to long the strongest one. Does that make sense? So in a bullish market, you want to short the strong. In a bearish market, you want to short the weakest. All right. I'm convinced. I'm not convinced of anything. But if our low from this morning is taken, I'm going to be really glad that I didn't go long here. Plus my dentist appointment is in an hour, a little over an hour from right now. So I'm only going to be up here another 15 or 20 minutes. And then that is going to be all she wrote. I gotta find some people to help promote too, so we can get more people up on here. I mean, there are people out there on YouTube that, you know, they got good intentions. I'm not gonna lie, they got good intentions, but they're not all that great. Some of them are just not that great, but they're getting 500, 600, 700 people, 1,000 people, you know, and it's like, well, shit, what am I doing wrong? You know what I mean? What am I doing wrong? But I think it just takes time too, because I only just got back on YouTube like 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. But we'll make something happen. But we got to get people to promote, you know, like in their telegrams and their little groups or whatever, and actually have that set schedule every Monday, every Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, and that won't change. It may shift later on. We may add or subtract a day or something like that in the future. But as of right now, that is what I'm going to roll with. That's what I'm going to go with. Ugh. We'll let my group know today. Appreciate that, Cameron. Appreciate that. And if you want to let them know, they have to be subscribed for at least 24 hours before they can access the chat. So like if you were to send them a link right now, they could watch the live, but they wouldn't be able to interact in the chat. Not until tomorrow, a full 24 hours after they subscribe. That's why I was promoting my YouTube for days and days before I started getting live. So if you had the opportunity, then, you know, if you didn't, then that's on you. Thanks for doing these extra sessions. Going over live prices, you really unlike anything. I'm really learning a lot. That's great, Mr. John D. That is great. Gary V hosted the wine library, about 60 people for over a year before it exploded. Yeah. I don't know shit about wine, but I know what you mean though. But at the same time too, there's a lot of competition on YouTube. A lot of competition. Especially people who just chase clout. You know, they do every fucking thing but trade, you know? Like, oh, the great visuals, the great thumbnails, the great this and that, but then when it comes to the analysis, it ain't all there, you know? So I don't want to be that way. You know, I don't want to be all looks and no substance, you know, like my ex. Ooh, got him. But anyways, if you guys have any questions, now is the time, because I'm only going to be up here like another 5 minutes. As mentioned, I don't have anything for the indices specifically for this afternoon. I think the move for today was this, right? So if there's going to be anything else, it could happen, but I think the greatest opportunity was this morning, and I just don't see myself capturing anything for this afternoon. I just don't see it. It's only Monday, which means we still have the rest of the week. So if you didn't do shit today, you got Tuesday, you got Wednesday, you got Thursday, and you got Friday. You know? Can you look at Bitcoin? Probably not going to look at Bitcoin. I don't do anything with currencies. I leave my friends to do crypto, because I am not good with crypto. I'm just not. Especially projects, like crypto projects. You know. Does the structure on a 1 minute make sense for a buy, given they ran the lows and grabbed liquidity and broke structure in the 1 minute? Are you referring to the NASDAQ? And ES? No. I wouldn't long ES. Because now you have another set of lows. So I think what's happening is, I think they're setting up like this zone, demand zone, to allow people to buy it. It may rally a little bit, you know, to see like some type of reaction, like, oh yeah, we'll go up, and then rip it. You know, I think that's what's likely. I don't really see any break of structure. I mean, yeah, like I guess you could say that, but we've came all the way down to this low, have not surpassed it. And so I think there's liquidity building up here. So I wouldn't long. If price is above liquidity, I wouldn't long. And then NASDAQ, if this was going to be a reversal, I think it would have probably done it by now. It would have hit that maybe a second time, and then it would have had a clear movement to the upside. It hasn't done anything. It's just been bullshitting right here. So that I'm not convinced. You know what I mean? I'm just not convinced of long. I mean, I wouldn't short this. I wouldn't long it either. I'll just wait. That's one of the hardest things about trading that a lot of people don't understand. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. Not just for the setup, but when you're in a setup, you gotta wait for it to pan out. You know, and I get it. It's frustrating, especially when you're in the trade and the market doesn't do anything for 15, 20 minutes. You're like, move, bro, just move. You know, you're like that meme of that guy with the stick, and he's like, do something. You know, like that's you when you're impatient. It's me too. That's how I know, because I'm impatient. That's why you gotta do things like read, or I don't know, anything but press buttons when you're not supposed to. Well, now we're at 1 o'clock. So we're at the opening of a new hour as well. So now we're at the new hour. So we have 2 hours left of the stock exchange. I don't trust the lows. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. Feel like the 6 to 6:30 candle on Dow, so the buy might get low there to go for a buy on a 30-minute. I don't even look at 30-minute charts, to be honest. I go straight from the 15 to the 1 hour. I don't know why. It was many, many years ago. I just decided to retire to 30-minute. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with you. I don't know. I can't explain it. So don't even ask. It's just one of those things. I just don't do it. I just don't do it. It's clean in 5 15-minute as well on S&P. Well, yeah, of course. And that's what I'm saying. It could take off from here, and they could leave that for another time. They can totally do that. All right. Well, shit. Maybe that is our manipulation then. If it wants to trade higher. Could be. Fuck, look at those wicks, man. Look at that. You see all that? That's crazy. What do you think about gold? I haven't looked at gold today, dude. I haven't looked at it. Dude, honestly, I just want to call them and be like, look, bro, I ain't gonna make it today. Markets are open. You know, we'll have to pick a different day. But they made me sign or not sign, but they made me do no, actually I did have to sign a document, and it said that if I don't make today's appointment, I gotta pay like $100 fee or some shit. So I do have to go. But I'm just curious to see if these lows you know, I'm curious. And I want to see. I want to see if they get wrecked. So if you look at Dow as well. No, I don't like Dow either. Let me look at the look at the metals real quick. And someone asked. Gold, this month and even February are the most bullish months for gold. And I know a few weeks ago I said I wouldn't short gold. And well, now you see why. We've been pretty much doing nothing but trading higher. Silver, on the other hand, hasn't. Silver has just been very gross. It's done nothing. It's moved sideways. That's it. It's gross. With gold, it has been sideways a little bit, but it's compared to silver, it's been generally higher and higher. So that's cool. But this whole month and even next month, I would focus more on longs than I would on shorts. But now that we've been consolidating on the daily, doesn't look right. Like, I'd focus on those highs. Well, if those were equal, that would have been much better. But you have like two small highs right here. So, I mean, we could trade lower. But honestly, I have no solidified expectation for gold. Not on a 1 hour. If anything, I would do very similar to what I do with the indices and go down to super small time frame and wait for manipulation and then mitigation or something to that effect. My stomach's rumbling. Dude, I have not eaten today. I totally forgot to eat breakfast. And I gotta brush my teeth before I go to the dentist. Brush them again, at least. But anyway, I got stopped out on the W candle. What is a W candle? It's a P. You told that gold's manipulated so you can better trade on silver. No, I just think gold's the most manipulated asset there is. I mean, look at it. Like, all you gotta do is look at it. Look at all the lows and highs just being swept and swept and swept and swept, bro. It's like a fucking broom factory. Just nothing but sweeping going on and going on. You know? Which is a good thing, because if you like trading that type of stuff, you know, then you like that environment. Some people don't like consolidations. They're like, oh, I hate consolidations. You can't do anything in consolidations. It's like, no, yes, the fuck you can. If there's equal highs and equal lows in consolidation, bro, there's going to be mad runs on liquidity. What are you talking about? L tweet, bro. L tweet. Lots of L tweets on Twitter, man. It's crazy. You could write a fucking book with the amount of fuckery I've seen on Twitter. All right, last F-bomb, promise. I promise. Last one. All right. But it's true. It's true. It's a lot of hot dog water out there. Y'all can write that down. You know, consolidations are like a broom factory. It's just sweep and sweep and sweep. And that's gonna be it, guys. That is gonna be it. Keep these lows in mind for the S&P. 40, 43, 40, 42 maybe. Keep that in mind. If the NASDAQ does end up running from here, again, those highs might get met. And then there's a little bit of conflicting analysis there too. Because if you have lows on the S&P, but highs on the NASDAQ, it just doesn't make me comfortable to really go in either direction. So, not going to touch it. I'm going to go to the dentist. And hopefully they don't slap me with a $10,000, $20,000 bill. and we'll just go from there. So I'll go ahead and shut it down. Again, guys, if you got some value out of today's presentation, give the video a like. Make sure that you're subscribed. Hit the bell notification so that way you don't miss future content and future videos. And my one and only Instagram is at John Fibonacci. No numbers, no spaces, none of that business. So I will see y'all next time. Take care.